What if the fate of the next Lakers dynasty hinges not on star power or trade firepower, but on the fragile, unpredictable gamble of redemption? What if the path to purple and gold glory winds through the shadows of forgotten promise and raw, unpolished talent? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Because today, Lakers Nation, we're peeling back the curtain on a move that no one saw coming, but might just ripple through this franchise's future in ways we can't yet grasp. The Lakers have quietly handed a lifeline a second chance to a former first round pick who's been a traveler in basketball's wilderness, from NBA flashes to the Chinese pro leagues, and now back to the City of Angels where hopes and heartbreaks dwell. His name? Darius Bazley. The 23rd overall pick, once drafted with high hopes, but lost in the shuffling, discarded, and yet not forgotten. Bazley is set to lace up the purple and gold once more this summer league, a proving ground where careers are resurrected, dreams either ignited or extinguished under the harsh spotlight of NBA scouts and scribes. It hasn't been the quietest offseason for the Lakers, no, not at all. They brought in DeAndre Ayton to anchor the center spot, bolstering their presence inside with one of the game's most imposing figures, and Jake LaRavia joins the fold, adding fresh legs and hungry anticipation. But even with these moves, there's a whisper of vibe that this roster isn't settled. The front office is still courting potential, looking to stitch together a team that can withstand the punishing test of another NBA season with LeBron James and Anthony Davis leading the charge. And amidst this flurry of additions and trade buzz, the signing of Bazley to the Summer League roster may seem like a minor blip, a footnote to the big headlines. Yet for those who watch the undercurrents, this is a move charged with implication and layered with risk. Why bring in a player who hasn't set foot in an NBA game since the 2024 season? Who's fallen from the high promise of a five-star high school recruit into years of stop-and-start, NBA hopeful overseas journeyman, punch-the-clock shadows? Because Bazley still carries the raw strokes of the player scouts drooled over a 6 feet 9 inches athlete, capable of soaring above the rim, with a wingspan that whispers defensive potential and highlights of shot-blocking glimpses from his days with the Guangdong Southern Tigers in China's CBA. There, in 33 games, Bazley's shooting was uneven 35% from three-point range, 47% overall, but that kind of stat line doesn't tell the entire story. Nearly 8 rebounds a game, close to 2 blocks, a physical profile that can't be coached overnight. The Lakers aren't just betting on the body. They're betting on recovery, on stamina, on whether Bazley has refined his game away from the spotlight, away from the noise. The Lakers are looking for youth and athleticism, determined to build around an aging core with LeBron and AD. Bazley, at 25 freshly minted this June 12th, is not a washed-up veteran. His age is a fact that begs the question, can this be the start of his comeback narrative? A story of the kid who once bypassed college basketball, yes, his odd path. Included a stint at New Balance Academy before declaring for the NBA draft, now seizing a new lease on life after being traded from Oklahoma City, fading in Phoenix, and slipping overseas. Will he live up to the potential that earned him a first-round spot? That's the million-dollar question that the Lakers coaching staff, the front office, and the fans will want answered as he tips off against the Golden State Warriors in the California Classic this Saturday at the Chase Center in San Francisco. Watching Bazley knock down shots at the UCLA Health Training Facility, clad in the purple and gold, one can almost hear the echoes of past Lakers Summer League success stories: Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso, the 2017 crop that sprinted into NBA relevance after dominating the summer circuit. And yet, the pressure on Bazley is unique. Unlike those rising draft picks and well-scouted prospects, he arrives here as a known question mark, a player carrying the weight of unrealized promise and the urgency of the shore before storm. Alongside him will be young hopefuls like Trey Garland, Bronny James, Eric Dixon, and others fighting for a crack at the big league. And for Bazley, every minute on the court will be a trial by fire, Can he convince the Lakers that he's not just a flash in the pan, but a versatile piece capable of contributing on both ends of the floor? Summer League is often a spectacle of youthful exuberance and raw talent. But among the highlights and hopeful moments lies a brutal truth. Not every player makes the leap. The Lakers are juggling their roster options, balancing the budding stars, the restricted free agents like Christian Coco, and the grizzled veterans with rebound dreams. The financial chess match behind the scenes is just as critical. Signing Bazley signals an openness to untapped upside, but also underscores the gamble the Lakers are willing to take as they seek to blend grit with youth, athleticism with experience. Will Bazley's presence spark a spark that ignites the Lakers' bench depth, or become a footnote in a summer of bitter headlines? As fans, as believers who have weathered countless off-seasons filled with hope and anxiety, we watch and wait, knowing the Summer League's potential to rewrite or reaffirm narratives that have long defined this storied franchise. Could this be the moment when Bazley's story pivots? When the forgotten first-round pick reclaims his place in the NBA spotlight wearing the Lakers' crest? Or is this simply a courtesy call, a final audition that ends quietly in the fading? Summer Sun? As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel the tension in every pass he takes, the hesitation in every shot. This is not just about a player. This is about hope, our hope that the next chapter for this team might emerge from unexpected places, from the chaos beneath the surface. So, is this the start of a new empire, built on resilience and redemption? Or the beginning of our unraveling? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. Listen up, Lakers Nation. This isn't just another off-season blip where we shrug and scroll. This is the black hole moment that could either swallow our franchise whole or launch us into a new orbit of greatness. If Bazley tears it up in the Summer League, it's not just a player coming back from the dead. It's a statement, a defiant roar echoing through the halls of Staples Center that the Lakers refuse to be yesterday's news, that they still own the blueprint for resurrection. But oh man, if he stumbles, if the flashes of ability are swallowed by inconsistency or the ghosts of lost confidence, we're staring at the cold calculus of Lakers fans watching another reign quietly dissolve, another golden era ending not with a bang but a whisper. Because let's be brutally honest, LeBron's twilight years don't wait for anyone. Anthony Davis carries his own volume of pressure on those broad shoulders, reshaping himself each off-season like a warrior mending broken armor. But the window won't stay open forever, and the next era is supposed to start now with or without these resurrection stories. Think about it, LeBron, the king, has been the lighthouse guiding us through storms of injuries, flawed rosters, and front office turmoil. What is the LeBron era meant to be remembered for? The triple-doubles, the titles, or this endless gamble on whether the guys coming next can hold up the torch? Bazley's not just a player. He's the metaphor of that uncertainty, of hope tethered to desperation. Now throw Bronny James into this electrified, mix the future star whose shadow is already cast tall and wide over L.A. The pressure on that kid isn't just from fans or media. It's in the DNA now, the burden of carrying purple and gold dreams stacked on top of a Hall of Fame lineage. If Bazley stumbles early, if the Lakers front office opts to prioritize short-term grit over developing a potential game-changer, does that push more weight onto Bronny's shoulders too soon? And Reeves, our scrappy heart and soul, the kid who embodies the hustle and grit Lakers fans idolize, is waiting in the wings, not just for minutes, but for respect. Every addition, every fresh face, every gamble chips away or builds up his opportunity. And believe me, when we talk about the Lakers, so Reeves is the last outpost of that gritty blue-collar spirit that runs underneath the glitz and celebrity. The Lakers aren't just balancing a roster. They're in a pressure cooker of soul, legacy, and the unforgiving clock of aging stars. It's wild because off the court, the chess pieces are just as volatile. Jeannie Buss remains the steward of the franchise, the boss lady making the calls while holding tight onto a legacy soaked in Showtime magic and Staples tears. But whispers, oh, Those tantalizing whispers circle around a billionaire with pockets deep enough to rewrite the Lakers dynasty script. Imagine that a new power player stepping into the Coliseum's shadow, poised to shake up the delicate dance of loyalties, power, and ambition. What if that disrupts the front office's grand plans? What if moves made with Bazley, Ayton, and LaRavia in mind get blown off course by a sudden injection of capital and ego? The Lakers have always been a story of dynasties built through a blend of savvy, star power, and sometimes pure serendipity. But with that mix shaken, we could be watching the franchise's balanced B-max start to wobble dangerously. History isn't kind to those who paper over cracks for too long. Remember the 80s Showtime Lakers, those jaw-dropping tag team blends of Magic and Kareem spinning rings around defenders, breaking the mold of what a team could be? Or the three-peat? In the early 2000s, when Kobe Bryant's meteoric rise fueled a relentless championship engine? And not to mention 2010's redemption arc, a revenge tour launching from the heartbreaks of prior years, culminating that Lakers glory our hearts still beat for. Flash forward to 2020, the bubble where a reimagined Lakers squad weathered by injuries and doubt, captured the globe's gaze with that last dazzling banner that made everyone believe again. Now, here we are decades later, years into a post-title decline, where high drama is less about celebrations and more about survival and piecing together a future from fragments. The way the Warriors have dominated the West with Steph's wizardry, Draymond's backbone, and Kerr's strategy felt like an immovable fortress. Denver's young guns stare us down with Jokic's brilliance. Phoenix lurks like a fiery comet ready to disrupt. And the Clippers, despite their circus of stars and injuries, always threaten chaos. Into this swirling tempest steps Bazley not just a player, but a test of the Lakers' ability to break this Western Conference chokehold. If he soars, if the Lakers can harness his athleticism and channel that raw, unpolished firepower, what does that say for our rivals? Could Bazley become the secret weapon, the X factor that nobody saw coming, the chip that turns our team from a middling contender into a nightmare matchup? But what if this gamble backfires? What if Bazley's inconsistencies expose a deeper wound in the roster's construction, splinter in the fragile chemistry with LeBron and AD? What if these layers of hope built on young players' uncertain returns and the glaze of desperation to keep LeBron's twilight and treasure form tear apart rather than weave together? Lakers fans have felt this before that stomach knotted. Tension where every new signing, every draft pick feels like either the spark or the final ember. The playoff battles where we suddenly lose to lesser teams. Or the season-long injuries that strip away title dreams before the buzzer even sounds. There's an ache in the soul of this fan base that cuts deeper than any loss, a feeling that we're always chasing ghosts, always negotiating with fate, always hanging tiny hopes on big dreams. And Bazley embodies this struggle perfectly. The kid who once flew too close to the sun, only to fall, only to keep clawing back. The one who's crossing continents, cultures, and careers for one breath of fresh purple and gold air. Imagine the scene at Crypto.com Arena when Summer League raps and he puts up a stat line that sings a promise. What does that feel like? A triumph, a sign, a beacon shining through the LA smog? Or imagine the flip side of quiet departure. Into the shadows, a missed chance that amplifies the doubts swirling around this franchise's next chapter. And the emotional weight of that decision ripples far beyond Bazley himself. LeBron, still chasing that championship, feels every tick of the clock and every roster question like a personal trial. AD's fight to stay healthy, dominant, he cannot carry the offense, defense, and expectations alone. The young players, all vying for their shot, watch these moments like gospel. And the fans in the stands, in bars, in front of screens, carry the burden of decades of Lakers' highs and lows, the ecstasy of dunkathons and buzzer beaters, the despair of untimely injuries and off-court chaos. This is not just basketball. It's a saga where every player is a character in a sprawling, ongoing drama. As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. Bazley is going to be more than an experiment He'll be the crucible for this team's identity. If he thrives, he's a symbol of redemption, resilience, raw purple and gold fire that refuses to die. If not, it's a wake-up call that we need to find another way, that these twilight years of Lakers greatness demand a different gamble. And right now, that's the pitch raw, electric, and downright gut-wrenching. So now I want to hear it. From you, drop your rawest take below. Every true believer in purple and gold, how do you see Bazley shaping our future? And what does this mean for the soul of the Lakers as we stand on the edge of history or heartbreak?